Welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is Assault Battles Forest Moon. Now, I have not put a whole lot of time or attention into this particular assault battles and preparing for it, so I honestly, going into this, don't know how I'm going to fare or if I even have very good characters for it, but I'm guessing they said something about Empire, and I have some Empire characters, so let's go ahead and get started and take a look at my team and what characters I get to use. Now, first, I want to go to possible rewards. It looks like the first time that you beat Tier 1, they give you a hefty chunk of shards. You get 10 of each Ewok, so that is pretty cool. The first time they also give you some extra 1 million in credits. That's pretty awesome. And then there's some of the purple Omega Mark III material, which is really coveted stuff. Some training droids, and then of course there's all these purple and blue gear that you really need, and some subsequent credits, so that's pretty cool. And this is all going to be the subsequent rolls when you play this, if you decide to do that. And of course, you got to do Tier 1 to unlock Tier 2. So this is what you can win. Pretty cool. You got to beat them to get them. So the required units looks like they have Empire and droids. Now, I don't have my droids that high. It looks like I have 5 characters that are in gear 8 or above, and so we're going to go ahead and just go with the top. My B2 battle droid's on my arena team, that's why I have him. I've done my Royal Guard earlier on. Of course, I kind of abandoned him. So all these characters, their abilities are going to be at level 3. Why don't we go ahead and meet these characters? First, Snowtrooper. I got him up to 7 stars just recently, and level 80. I started to gear him up. I got him up to gear level 8. I do have a few gear slots I could fill, but I'm choosing not to. I threw some superficial mods on there just so he had something. They're really not that good, just a few low-level health mods. And his attacks and abilities up to level 3, just due to the fact that it's really cheap to get these abilities up. Obviously, it requires only the green and blue to go up from level 1 to level 2 and level 2 to level 3. So the attacks and abilities are only at level 3 for the Snow Trooper. And of course, the Snow Trooper, he's an Empire and he's an attacker. He's got a AoE. If we go back, then I have got IG-86. Again, he has gear 9. He's going to gear 10. I, of course, have a couple slots I could fill, but not. I don't even have any mods on him, so I probably should just toss a couple of, mediocre mods on here. Let's just go ahead and throw a few of these mods on here, because he is going to get worked. So there we go. Just throw a little bit on, just boost him up a little bit, get a little bit more tenacity, potency, critical damage, speed, some basic health and protection. Nothing significant, just got to get him something. Of course, he's an attacker, and he's got an assist where he can call in an assist, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, I've got, of course, Royal Guard. His abilities are a little higher than 3, some junk mods, just so that way he's good. He is a tank. I'm a little conflicted with having 2 high-level tanks, but B2 is pretty amazing. I've got B2 with the best mods that I have potency-wise, but unfortunately I just don't have that many good potency mods, and he is max geared. He's on my arena team. He's pretty fun. And then, of course, I got Emperor Palpatine maxed out, and I've got him some pretty good mods. I do not have all of his abilities up. Again, I'm not an Empire guy. I don't use Empire a whole lot. Of course, events like this just go to prove that you should be developing all the characters that you can within each subset. When I say subset, I mean like Empire or Rebels. You should always have about 5 of every kind of character eventually at some point. This is where character development comes into play. Anyway, I think I've got a strong enough team to beat this first tier, so we're going to go ahead and go in battle. And I've never done this before, so I don't know how I'll do, but I'm going to assume that I will do well. So I'm going to put in my Emperor Palpatine, of course, as the leader. I have my 2 tanks, and then I have my 2 AoE attackers below. So let's just see how I do. By the way, my arena power was about 36,000 for these 5. That's not horrible for a sort of developed team. And there's 8 levels on here, and they got something over their head. It says deadly. It says they have lowered max hit points and massively increased damage. This buff cannot be dispelled. And of course, I have a unique ability over here, and that is the defense up. I'm going to go ahead and just do the AoE, take away that. Wow, okay, that was a little easier than expected. Let's go ahead and do this AoE. Now, again, this is 8 levels, so, you know, it's going to get progressively more difficult with each level. Let's go ahead and try a shock. And everyone's dead. Wow, that was pretty cool. You know, I don't get to use my Empire a whole lot. I don't use Royal Guard anymore. I don't use IG-86 at all anymore. Emperor, I've played with a tiny bit, and B2 Battle Droid's been a little bit fun. Snowtrooper, honestly, I like Snowtrooper as a character in the game, so just to be able to play him has been a ton of fun. Oh, by the way, I've got an Elder, a Teebo, and another Elder. So why don't we just go ahead and take out some of these peripheral. Now I know that the elders are going to try and, you know, bring these guys back to life, but if I can take enough hits, I doubt that it will make much difference. So let's try and see what we can do damage-wise. Wow, that's pretty tanky. Trying to get a stun on, but oh, and there he brings them back. I'll just continue to take them out as needed. There we got a stun on. Do an AoE. Of course, the AoE doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And I got a stun on. Another AoE. And this is kind of like a halfway point semi-boss situation. Of course, he's going to go stealth, so I'm going to have to go for this Elder, which is fine. What's weird is each Elder could have brought someone back to life, and only the one Elder did that. I guess probably because he was stunned. Let's just do some basics. So far this hasn't looked terribly difficult. Of course, we're only halfway on the first tier. Well, this one looks pretty darn easy. This is a rebound level, if you will. Should kill them all. Oh, missed him. And again, it will get progressively harder each level here. I always look to see if there's a anyone that can bring them back to life, because that's a terrible problem. That should kill them all. Oh wow, stunned 4 out of 5, but didn't do a whole lot of damage, surprisingly. Since they're stunned, we'll take the ones that are not stunned out. Let's do a double hit. Alright, 7 will be a little bit more difficult, and then 8 should be really a lot harder. Let's go ahead and take care of Elder first, so we don't have him coming back to life. That is kind of nice having Royal Guard on here, obviously. If things get a little out of hand at the end on the 8th level or maybe on Tier 2, I'll have Royal Guard to ensure that my characters are protected. Royal Guard truly is one of the coolest, most unique tanks in that his taunting is not necessary. You don't have to trigger it. It auto triggers anytime someone falls below 50% health. So it's pretty nice. And then if you have a healer or someone that can bring them up, or if they have health steal and can get themselves back above that, the nice thing is he can re-trigger every single time. So let's go ahead and do a double hit. Let's see if we can get some stuns off. Did get a stun on the back. That is good. And we got him double stunned. So let's go ahead and work on Ewok Elder. I was kind of expecting just a little bit more of a push. Thought this would be a little more difficult, but I wanted to experience this with you guys so you could see what this was all about. I know a lot of people that don't have characters developed quite as far as I have these characters developed, so for them this still may not be a reality, but for others, they are probably walking through this just like I am. And I've gotten a lot of reviews as well on the Ewoks and on the Jawas and on the droids. There's just so many characters to do reviews on. So in time, all of the characters will get reviewed eventually. But at this point, I'm just focused on the list that I've currently been making through your guys' requests. I'm going through them one at a time and trying to get them. So you can see the rewards, 1.15 million, which is really nice. So they actually dropped the guaranteed, and then they dropped some supplementary. So I actually got the guaranteed 6 of the Mark III, the training droids, the 1 million, and they dropped another 0.15 million. 2 of these purple stun gun salvages, which is cool. 1 of these, which I really don't need that much. And then, of course, Tebow I have maxed, so that's just going to go to the shard shop. Ewok Scout, this is nice. It's going to take him closer to 100. Chief Chirpa is going to get him closer to 6 stars. And Ewok Elder closer to 6 stars. So not too bad. Now, something that is pretty cool is you can do these tiers over again if you want to pay the gems. Now, I don't suggest that unless you look at it this way. The rewards, of course, are any of these possibilities, right? Well, the initial one had the guaranteed 6 Omegas, and that's really what you want. Because the Omegas are not the Mark III Omega material, is not in the guaranteed, I am going to tell you the drop is probably going to be like 1 purple and a little bit of credits and a couple of these guys' shards. So really not worth the 100 crystals that they're requesting. So let's go ahead and we're going to try this bonus tier and see how I do. There is a significant number of these shards again. And for the first time, if you can do it, you'll get a Omega material, which is cool. That stuff is rare. And of course, 6 of these would be great. And of course, I have plenty of the droid collar salvage, but 1 million credits is always good. And then you'll get additional of these down below. So let's see if I have what it takes to beat this with the same team that I was using. I think I can get through the first 4 pretty easily. Not sure if I can make it through without losing anyone. We will see. Of course, first level is always the easiest. And remember, these abilities are not maxed out at all on any of my characters. Now, this is an immunity buff, or a buff immunity it gives them, which means they can't get anything. They can't get any positive stats effects anymore. If they happen to be a tank, they wouldn't be able to taunt. If they're trying to heal, if they're trying to use any of their abilities that buff up, critical chance up, anything like that, it just doesn't. Let's go ahead and take out the Elder. And that's B2's basic. Against, here's evasion down, which is really cool. It's a negative 25% evasion chance. So when you give evasion down, it takes away 25% evasion. And this works especially well against Obi-Wan. He gives plus 15% evasion chance. And so this counteracts it, pretty much makes it guaranteed if it hits that they're not going to evade the hit. So here's the semi-battle, kind of in the middle battle. Let's go ahead and take these little guys out. Again, they'll probably call them back, and that's okay. And I haven't used any of my defensive abilities, you know, the special ability over here on the bottom right. I just haven't seen a need. I should have shocked them all and got some stuns off. So I'll be able to do that on this next turn. Wow, we're really getting him slowed down. Let's go ahead and shock them all. This is where stealth means nothing. I actually got the guy who was Tebow, who was stealthed. And I got two of them stunned now. Yeah, he's an easy kill. Alright, while they're stunned, let's do a little bit more. Of course, he did have stealth above him, and if you notice, the AoE hits everyone, including those that were stealthed, and it took away his stealth ability, which is pretty awesome. I'm going to go back to this guy because he's almost dead. I'm going to try and finish him off. They are pretty tanky, but they're not doing a whole lot of damage. I'm pretty surprised that they didn't make these guys just a little bit more tanky. And finish him off. We'll move to the next. Yeah, they're just not doing any damage. I mean, they may be tanky, but boy, they're just not doing well. Alright, let's go ahead and shock both these guys. And I got a stun on one of them. Do another AoE. Double hit. Got a stun off. He'll be an easy kill. So bringing him back to life isn't a big deal, really. People like to take the Elder out first so he doesn't do that. It is a bit of a distraction, but really that's all it is a distraction. Man, look at all of those all those debuffs. Negative 25% speed, stun, shock, can't gain health buffs or immunities, immune from buffs as well. That's absolutely crazy. Goodbye. That's one thing the Empire is good for, is debuffing the other team. I'll tell you, that is definitely something that makes the Empire team very fun to play, is they will put red over your head, that is for sure. And they gain lots of status abilities for that. Again, these guys have been pretty tanky, but just there's no offense. I was expecting a little bit more than what I'm seeing here. This is a little bit disappointing. And dead. That was 10,000 from the Emperor on a critical. That wasn't horrible. I've seen people with their Emperor hit for a whole lot more. I know that the Emperor really can hit pretty hard if he wants to. Especially if he's worked up and modded properly, he can really hit for a lot. He has an amazing base attack, base stat damage. So I have not seen anything yet that would lead me to believe that this is a very difficult event. As you've seen, I could imagine that my characters could be significantly underpowered and still do okay. And the reason why I'm saying that is, I mean, if you look, 7 out of 8 battles, and I haven't even lost my protection. So that's just crazy. I mean, I would have thought by now that my characters would have not survived. But who knows? I mean, 36,000 arena power. If you're playing with your team has only got 20,000 arena power, maybe that, you know, it would be a much more difficult game to play. But I mean, here we are, 8 out of 8 on the bonus round. And look at this. I mean, we've got basically two characters. And just for giggles, I'll go ahead and defense up. I just don't see these characters as doing much. Again, Ewok Elder, bringing people back to life. Really not a big deal. They go pretty quickly. They're just a distraction again. Let's go ahead and stun them. I got one stunned. Well, he's bringing them back to life a little more in this one. Still really doesn't matter. He's bringing back these just undervalued, underpowered characters. That's the first joint attack I've seen all night. Took to level 8 to get him to finally do that, which is just really sad. And I just don't see, even though he's bringing all these, they said he were going to bring them all back to life, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at that. That was a crappy AoE. It's a level 3 AoE on that character, and he took all of those guys out. On the description, it said that it would be bringing them all back to life guaranteed, and that was something that we might actually have to be worried about. But as you can see, this just really feels like a walk through the park. And I know that my team is moderately modded up and, you know, geared up and star leveled up, but this is a little bit disappointing. Now, if you're a lower level character, this is probably exceptionally good news. You should be able to compete in this, and you might do not too bad. If you've got 3 or more characters, I'd say just even 3 characters that are halfway leveled up, you should be able to soar right through this. Now look at that. Again, the 1 million guaranteed plus another 0.15 million. I got the guaranteed Ewok Elder shards, which is cool. I got the Omega material, which now I have 5, so I get to do an ability on a character. I got the guaranteed 5 at Chief Chirpa. This makes me happy. I got 13 of these ability materials, these Mark IIIs. This is the stuff that I really am at a choke point for. And then, of course, I got some security scanner salvage, which is great. That's raid gear. And so I have tons of the droid collar salvage. I don't need that. And of course, I don't need T-bow. But Ewok Scout, we're getting close. 13 is going to put that at about 89. That's pretty cool. So anyway, I would suggest doing both of these. They're a lot of fun. If you've got some Empire, I think you should do pretty good. It says this bonus tier is very difficult. I don't see it as difficult, but then again, my team is decently built. Ewok Assaulted gives me 10, and you know what? This is what I've been waiting for to get my Darth Vader to 6-star. Let's claim that. You know what? That makes me extremely excited because it was an Empire event that ended up getting my Darth Vader higher. And while I'm here, let's go ahead and equip these. That's some under-level gear, not a big deal. And you can see I keep all that to level 3. Let's go ahead and promote him. I now have a 6-star, and that means I am now going to have a little bit of fun with Darth Vader. I am definitely going to go back, rework his mods. I am definitely going to raise his attacks and abilities up, get those up, and I am going to, I already got him to max level 80, and I'm definitely going to gear him up. I've got him almost to gear level 7 now, just a couple away. So he's going to be fun, but I'm really excited I got him to 6 stars through this event. That was pretty fun. I'm really glad I got to show you the event, the Ewok Assaulted, so you guys could see Forest Moon and how these went. Not too difficult for a developed character like myself if you're underdeveloped or don't have these characters. Obviously, I think you have to be level 75 to play, but as always, I hope these videos are entertaining. They show you kind of what to expect, and if you can't do this assault battles now, just know this thing comes back every so often. So you're going to get this to drop, I think, about once every 3 months or so. So you will get a chance to do this again, get some awesome Ewok shards, and remember, you can go back and pay to redo these levels again. The only thing is the possible rewards now you can see are drops. Now, I will tell you this secondary one, while the credits are the same and the purple and blue gear is the same, if you look, they actually have for the shards, they have it almost, they have it almost doubled. So you know, it might, for about almost 20 shards, it might be worth 100 crystals to get 20 shards. I'd say that's actually a good buy. If you were to go into the shipments and spend 100 crystals, you know, you're going to get nothing. 150 will get you 3 of the Ewok Elder. 100 will get you almost 20 of all of the Ewoks, so that's pretty good. The last thing is I am going to go to the shard shop, and I have 20 of T-Bow that I earned that I don't need. So I'm going to convert that to 300, and as you see, that 300 puts me just over the amount I need for the last of my General Grievous. Well, this is insane. I'm actually unlocking 2 of my characters. I got a level 6 on a star 6 on my Darth Vader, and I finally unlocked General Grievous. How exciting. Woo! Yeah. All right. I know that he's underwhelming for a lot of people, but I also seen a lot of videos of people enjoying him. You know, I don't know if I'll take him much further, but it is fun to unlock characters that are interesting. He's interesting to say the least. And, you know, I think that I'll gear him up another time, level him up another time, and do a character review on him some other time. But now at least I have him so I can do the review. As always, if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe. You can leave comments down below. And as always, have a wonderful evening. Keep your gaming on. Warrior out.